All right, guys, so we're going to be looking at some foundation work that is going to lead into some fundamental work, fundamental strength work that will then be required for us to be able to do the muscle up work. And we're going to be looking at the pushing component and the journey that we kind of take people on. Okay, this is the exact same thing. Okay, let's take it again.
Is it fundamental foundation work? Cool.
Strength.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at some foundation work leading into the strength fundamental work required for the muscle up. And we're going to be looking at particularly pushing movements. This is the exact same journey that we take our tribe on, and here are the reasons why we take him through this journey, okay? So the first and foremost, we take people on the ground. Obviously being able to push well on the ground is super important before we start to push ourselves on the rings, okay? So obviously we need to make sure that people can do adequate push-ups on the ground, but generally we'll take people onto the parallettes, and here are the reasons why and how we do it. So Seb's going to set himself up. Okay, so number one reason, guys, is because to save the wrist. Also, this is going to allow us to work a little bit deeper. Okay, so Seb's going to make sure his shoulders spread, okay, hips are tucked, and he's got this nice firm body throughout, as opposed to losing tension in the middle. This is a disaster position, okay? So again, bring it up, nice and tight through the body. He's going to, again, initiate the movement by leaning forward and breaking at the elbows first, trying to touch the belly button on the ground, okay, and then push up. Drive it up, boom, beautiful. Again, hips coming in line with the hips, spread the shoulder blades, just one more and just pause at the bottom. Okay, you can see, okay, the angle his shoulders are at and the depth he's getting, and drive it up. Okay, and rest, knees on the ground, okay, is essentially the same position that we will look to kind of build on the boxes with our dips and eventually on the rings. The reason being, okay, this is going to allow us to train in this end range position where we can not only obviously build strength adequate enough for muscle up, but also the health of the shoulders, you know, loading tendons and slowly making them more resilient in these positions, okay? And it's a great safe way to do them. Now, obviously, if that was a little bit too hard, Seb, can you just show one more for me, please? There are a number of different progressions we can do, okay? So same thing, he's gonna come down, eccentrically lowering down, meaning slowly lowering himself down, take a pause at the bottom, knees on the ground, and then push back up. Boom, one more time, okay? So you can see, he can simply work down, so you can still load these structures, bend in the knees, okay, and then push up, boom. So that'd be the movement standard number two, let's say. From there, he can stay on his knees, okay, tuck the hips, okay, and then just bash 2 reps out for me. He can do them on the knees in this regressed manner, okay, one more. And if we didn't have somebody who could do this, then we would just focus on the eccentric component, meaning just the lowering component. So you're going to just slow it down, okay, lower yourself down at a certain tempo, then pause, and then just rest, okay? So you're going to just push back any way you want to. Okay, so you can see the different movement standards, but the point of this is we're able to lower ourselves down and we start to actually load the structures that is required for us to be able to do the muscle up in these end range positions for pushing. So that would be the horizontal push. Then we'll go on to our vertical push. Now this is the dip. So Seb, can we do this from the front, please? Okay. Mind you, Seb's doing a great job. Obviously, he's doing a lot of push work right now, so he's going to have to fatigue at some point, okay? So this is a top support position, again, non-negotiable, right? Here, he's depressing his shoulders as much as possible. He's stabilizing his shoulders. His body is nice and tight, a little bit like it was when it was horizontal to the ground. From here, again, he's going to initiate the movement by bending his elbows first, okay? Keep hugging the elbows, come down. We want to see this end range, and then drive up, boom. One more time, just wait for me there, okay? Look at the position of his shoulders, okay? How low he comes, let's go. And drive it up. Get tight and rest, thank you, just rest up. So again, we're trying to make sure we work through full range of motion. And this is a really important detail to have ingrained in our head. It's not about how many reps we can do to start off with, it's more so how well can I move in my body and how well and adequately can I load my body in a sustainable way, in a consistent manner, that eventually over time, I can progress onto those deeper end ranges. Looking at the side, same thing. Again, if somebody didn't have the ability to push straight back up, we'll just look at eccentrics, okay? From here, again, he's gonna rock forwards by bending at the elbows first. He's gonna slow himself down as much as possible, hang out there, and then rest, okay? Boom, okay? Or that's a proper dip, okay? Just do the eccentric for me, okay? Boom. take a pause, and then just climb down. And that would be just an eccentric rep. And we, again, prescribe that in order to build the adequate strength to push back up. Okay, so, from a vertical push, think about it as if, obviously, the first standard is being able to do the repetition to full range of motion. If you can't quite do that, we would just focus on the eccentric, meaning just working on the lowering phase and getting adequate, strength in there to be able to eventually push ourselves back up. Now, the mecca of this, obviously, is on the rings. Okay, so get yourself a box, beautiful. Now, obviously, we've got stable surface on the parallel, okay, stable surfaces on the box, and now we're going on to the rings, which are unstable. Now, obviously, this is the apparatus, so this is the tool that will be actually doing the muscle up on, okay, so he's going to jump up, find himself in support hold, boom, okay, lock the elbows out. I'm just going to hold him still a little bit. Now, from here, okay, he's going to start to descend down towards the ground, same thing as we did in the box, breaking at the elbows first, boom, end range, and then if you got it, drive it up. Beautiful, hug the elbows nice and tight. Beautiful, that's one rep. You got one more in you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So notice his hands are staying close to him. He's not flaring his elbows out, okay, or hands out. And slowly down onto the box, just eccentric, would be just nice and simple, and then boom, feet on. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Okay, so there you go. We have like 3 different levels. If you think about it, so we went from the foundation, on the ground horizontal, not even pushing or mimicking the movement, okay, vertically. Once we have the adequate strength and range on the ground, then we can work more vertically in a stable surface. Again, looking to refine and build a certain amount of tolerance. And then we can go onto the rings and start to build that capacity, that strength required directly for our muscle up. And that's the sort of progression we'll kind of take, or process we'll take people through. Now, obviously, the art is in being able to prescribe the right dosages and also making sure, when to change over to the new progression or when to come back to regressions and so on. But that's not the point of this video. Hopefully that was helpful, guys. Thank you, Seb. Looking forward to the next one.